We were all raised on stories of chosen ones, on stories like Harry Potter and the animes that we grew up with, like Pokemon, Naruto, Yu-Gi-Oh, and whatever they're watching now. These stories where someone is marked out from birth to be put aside and to struggle and to feel pain, but then to finally get the redemption that they were divinely entitled to get eventually. You know, from the first scene when they're an orphan and they lost everything and they're starting at the very bottom, that they're going to have to be the one that's bullied, but secretly has the most talent of everyone in the school. And then slowly they're going to triumph and get the girl and get everything they ever wanted through a series of events that were specifically designed by someone, the author, to bring out their character. And that's great in fiction. It's an exciting story to enjoy. But if we're raised on stories like that, we start to think that our life is going to follow that pattern. And it is important, especially if you are young, to realize that is not the case. You were not born to suffer. You were not born with more talent than everyone around you that's just undiscovered and latent and is eventually going to come out and give you your big moment of redemption, where all the people that were mean to you are going to see, oh wait, he was actually really valuable and interesting. And the pursuit of that moment, the pursuit of everyone who ever doubted you, admiring you, is an insane task, because those people will likely find a way to put you down no matter what. You could leave your high school and graduate and become a millionaire and come back and they'll just say, oh, now you're a loser with $1 million, and humiliate you, and the humiliation will feel even worse than before, because now they're humiliating you after you went to all that work to prove them wrong. Living like an anime character is a massive mistake. Standing in the back of a nightclub or a bar or a party thinking, no one here understands me. I'm so different. Maybe one special girl will recognize what's great in me. It's a ridiculous, passive way to think. And sadly, other people don't search for people like that. It takes too much energy. We as humans are just trying to have as much fun, as much pleasure, as much security as we can, while expending as little energy as possible. That's most of us. That's how we function. So if you're at a party, standing in the corner with your hood up, thinking that you're like an anime character, and even though that's an extreme example, if you're doing anything that feels like that, anything in that universe of behaviors, no one is going to think, oh, who's that person over there? I better expend all my energy tonight to go and talk to that person that's alone that I don't know, to see who they are on the off chance that they're this cool anime character with the best personality ever and all this talent that I didn't know about. People don't work that way. And thinking this way is actually concealing your real talent, because your real talent finds success by expressing itself freely, by working hard, by spending 3 hours a day on your talent, or by spending 3 hours a day going out there and meeting people. That's how you find someone that loves you. And that's how you become a great artist or an accomplished athlete or whatever, is by practicing all of the time, not hiding your talent, not looking to be discovered. It's playing, basketball for 4 hours a day. It's playing music 8 hours a day, playing in every bar, wherever you can find a gig, anywhere. That is how main characters are found. I'll take my favorite example, the Beatles, my favorite band. They're about as successful as you can imagine. 4 guys who rose from working class neighborhoods to be some of the most famous and wealthy people that ever lived. How did they do it? Did they do it by thinking, man, we're these scrappy underdogs and we deserve this success, but people are going to find us? No, the Beatles were not precious. The Beatles were craftsmen. They just moved to the best city where they could find gigs, an unlikely place. They went from England to Germany. And then they played gigs in Germany 8 hours a day. They played nonstop. They played rock and roll for anyone that would listen as long as they could. They messed up songs. They ate chicken on stage. They dressed weirdly. They looked scruffy. They made mistakes. They were in an active, extremely active mode of operation where they were just taking every opportunity they could and letting everyone judge them as they may, not thinking or managing their impressions, not in their heads thinking how great they are. Because if you're expressing your talent, if you're expressing your personality, you don't really have that much time to mull over how no one knows who you are. If you're cracking jokes all the time, you're not mulling over how I'm so funny if people would just give me a chance. If you're playing tennis all the time, you're not mulling over, man, I'm so talented. I could be great if people just gave me the chance. Do not seek out redemption. Another great quote from Nietzsche. He said that redemption is a trap of greatness. The person who's constantly being great in the name of redemption is on a fool's errand. Because what if that redemption doesn't come? And it also, you have to ask, redeemed by who? Who has the power to redeem you? Who has the power to say, you know what? You are that awesome anime protagonist. You know what? Those kids that bullied you, they were wrong. No one on earth has that power. You know this because there are so many great people that are the opposite of redeemed. Look at the Nikola Teslas who have their triumphs, who do great things, but then they die alone. They die as failures. Life is a series of waves. You're going to go up and down, and maybe you're going to time it right, and the pattern's just going to go up, and up, and you're going to die happy with lots of people around you, but maybe not. But think about that. Was Nikola Tesla not redeemed? Was he not a great person? Was he not talented and amazing and powerful and interesting and everything we might admire because he died a failure? No, of course not. So where you end up, and if you get redeemed, isn't a good measurement of success unless you're a character in a book. In a book, obviously, or a movie, we want to see the person hit their high right at the end. We want it to be a happy ending. But real life doesn't just end at the happiest point. Real life goes in meandering ways, from this thing to that thing, from failure to success. But if you don't display yourself, and if you don't humble yourself to showing everyone you meet that you're friendly and interesting, of showing who you are all the time, of showing your talent and developing your talent, and humiliating yourself by realizing what your talent really is, and not holding it as this unlocked, this hidden potential in your brain that if you showed it, might actually disappoint you because it's not quite as much talent as you thought. You're not quite as special as you thought. As long as you don't have to display it, you don't have to face that reality. But if you do that, you will never find out and you will never get success because people aren't just searching for people like you who hide their greatness. You have to just humble yourself and show it as much as you can, wherever you can, all the time, and seize opportunities where you find them. Your life is not a movie. This is not a story that's acting on your behalf. You know this. Lots of people don't forget any opportunities. They die young. They lose everything. This happens. So why should it not be the same for you if you don't seize opportunities, if you don't humble yourself to actually playing the game of life, of looking for opportunities, of looking for your talents, of talking to that person, of making a plan? That's all on you. There's no author working on your life making this happen for you. It's just not the case. That's all.